players around when I started. There was only people like Hank Marvin and the Shadows, which was very sort of poppy kind of music at the time. But the people who really inspired me were the kind of 60s blues guitarists like Eric Clapton, particularly Jeff Beck, I suppose, and Peter Green, Jimi Hendrix later on when he came to America. So all those four people really were the most inspiring players to me of that era.
And when you started your own group, Skid Row, you were about 17 years old?
16 years.
16 years old, wow. And how was it back in, that was, the first album was made back in 70, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And how was the musical situation in Ireland those days?
Well, it was a lot of show bands playing sort of country and western music, and you know, two types of music, country and western. It was all that kind of thing, and people with suits and trumpets and all that kind of thing. There wasn't a lot of room for people playing original material. We were actually one of the few bands around writing our own songs, and we didn't get a lot of work at first because of that. It was kind of like we'd have to go and play stuff that people knew so that we could play, so that we could eat, you know, it was very difficult.
So did you play other people's material as well?
Yeah, we had to, yeah. It's the only way we could.
Like what?
Sunshine of Your Love, you know, stuff like that. And anything that was in the charts, you know, we'd play like Fleetwood Mac stuff and anything that we could play without feeling sick.
Okay. And we heard that era you met Phil.
Yeah, he was the singer in the band at the time. Yeah, he didn't play bass guitar in those days. He was mainly a singer, and he was like the front man for Skid Row. And from day one, he was the sort of person that I kind of hung out with. We sort of became friends after that, or something.
You were back into Thin Lizzy in and out.
Yeah, in and out 3 times. Yeah, I mean that's why when you hear the Back on the Streets record, it's like a transitional period. You can hear half of it's sort of rock and half of it's fusion.
Right.
So it's a bit confused, but it's a sort of. It was because I was halfway between the two at the time, just sort of drifting back towards rock.
Oh, I see. But how did that happen? Was Phil? You?
I'd been with Coliseum for 3.5 years, and we were. You know, at that stage it was kind of like starting to go downhill, and we weren't selling a lot of records and stuff, so, you know, I wanted to get back to playing something a bit more simple again, and I stood in for Thin Lizzy on the Queen tour of America in the late 70s, and I got caught up in the whole excitement of the thing, going up and playing the big arenas again.
That was replacing Brian?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
And it was like really exciting to play in that kind of environment instead of having to sort of slog around Belgium and Germany twice a year and playing these little clubs all the time, which is all we ever got to do, really. We never got very far beyond that. So I wanted to get back to playing something, you know, that was kind of more exciting for me to play and to go out and play live and to play to a lot more people.
And after that, you made your own group called G-Force.
Yeah.
And we really, you know, we're very sorry that, you know, that group went down in a short period of time. But
very short.
Yeah. How did that happen when you were expecting that band?
Really, that band failed as a live act more than anything because the singer was a real. He was very uncomfortable on stage, and he used to trip over monitors and fall on his backside every night. And, you know, and he was like a constant source of amusement to the audience. So that didn't work out. We only ever did one tour. We toured for 3 weeks with Whitesnake in 1980, and that was the only tour the band ever did. And it was a disaster. There was one gig I remember, it was one of the worst gigs I've ever done. And people were taking our album covers and tearing them up and throwing them over the stage, you know, and blowing us off in Birmingham. So it was kind of like, it was a tough tour for us.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Now, you know, you had, you know, some people singing for you in your band, but now you do take lead vocals and guitars at the same time. But do you have any plan to put a vocalist in, or you don't want to do it
I've given up on that, to be honest, because I've had so many singers that I've tried, and for various reasons it hasn't worked out. So I think the best thing is for me to do it myself. Because although, you know, I might not have the greatest voice in the world, I think I sing my songs better than other people do. So I've got a way of expressing my own lyrics, you know. I have very definite ideas about how I want my songs to sound. So I'm probably the best person to do it for that reason. Although, you know, I've had people like Glenn Hughes in the band who's got a great voice, but, you know, maybe he didn't do the songs any better than I could have, you know, because of the nature of the songs.
said there'd been a robbery. His pistol had been found. Yeah! They marched him to the station house. He waited till the dawn. And as they led to the dock, he knew that he was wrong. He stand accused of robbery. He had the
今週のライナーノーツは先日東京中野サンプラザで行われましたゲイリー・ムーアのライフパフォーマンス、そしてインタビューをお送りしました。いかがでしたでしょうか。
はい、
どうでしたか。
インタビューで、彼16歳の時にデビューしてね、ずいぶん長いキャリアを積んでるわけなんですけど、いろんなバンドを渡り歩いてで、現在は彼自身のゲイリー・ムーアバンドで活躍しているわけなんですけど、でもそんな古い人だと思わなかった。なんか注目されたのは80年ぐらいでしょ。80年代に入ってからでしょ。
まあロックファンの間ではね、結構注目してた人は多かったんじゃないかなと思いますけれども、でもすごく好きなのはやっぱり憧れがジェフ・ベックだった、ですごくジェフ・ベックと似てる部分で、自分のやりたい音楽に対しては絶対妥協しない、だからこのバンドにいてもうやることがないんだと思ったらツアー中でも何でもスパッてやめちゃう、あの辺なんかすごいなっていう感じがしますけどね。今後も注目したいと思います。